Namaste, this is Caroline Vaz from the Vaz+Harwood team, and I'm here with my favorite friend. She was also my client a few years ago, but she is one of my favorite people in the world. This is Kayla, Westerlund. She is what we all like to fondly call an ecopreneur. Kayla and I became friends when I started this mompreneur group about 6 years ago in our neighborhood in South Minneapolis. That group has since grown, but Kayla was, I think, one of the first 5 or 10 people who said, "Hey, let's just form this club of mompreneurs." We were all starting our businesses at the same time, and we all just needed a little bit of support. But Kayla at the time had a sustainable gardening service, and that service she really did brilliantly. But today we are here to talk about her latest venture and adventure, I should say. Talk about it.
Sure.
What are you up to nowadays? You're a rascally creature.
Well, I always keep busy. Thank you so much for having me for this interview, Caroline. So I met Caroline a few years ago. She helped me purchase my first home, and I'm just always so grateful and can't wait to do business with her more in the future. But right now I've started a life cycle composting business. So we're selling worms and helping people set up backyard composting, backyard worm farming, or vermiculture. And we're also picking up organic waste for St. Paul residents and businesses and apartments in the Twin Cities. So there are literally tons and tons of million tons of waste that goes to landfill every year that is organic waste that could be composted and turned into nutritious soil for our gardens, for our farms, for our flowers, all of that. So that's a little bit about what we're doing here. We're taking organic waste, saving it from the landfill, and turning it into soil.
How did you come up with that idea?
You know, it came to me because I moved from Minneapolis, which has a fabulous composting service for its residents. I moved to St. Paul, which is a beautiful city. I'm so happy to be here, but they do not currently have a curbside or alley side pickup service for organic waste. And for busy people, you know, without that curbside service, it's very difficult to compost. A lot of people don't have the know-how or the space to do backyard composting. So it came to me that that'd be a great service. And then there are a lot of businesses, cafes, apartments, offices that really want to recycle their organic waste, but there are currently no services for that in the Twin Cities.
I noticed that too. When I moved from South Minneapolis to West St. Paul, the first thing was, oh my gosh, we don't have a compost bin. There were 2 huge fabulous bins for everything else, but there was no green compost bin. What can you compost? I think that's a lot of, I know, but a lot of people are still confused about what can be composted, and people just assume it's only veggies and fruits.
Yeah, exactly. You know, in this bin you can see there's, and I picked this up from a neighbor recently. It looks like they have a reusable, sorry, not reusable, but a compostable bowl from a takeout place. So it's not only fruit and veggies, but it's bread, it's compostable paper products, compostable toothbrushes. I have a client who uses a bamboo toothbrush and then they've thrown it in their compost. So all of that can be composted. It's pretty amazing. You know, meat and dairy can go in here, bones, things like that. The things you can't compost, you know, that's a much shorter list, so it's worth just running through those. Any sort of pet waste, that's a big no-no. Diapers, human waste, all of that should not go in your compost. But anything that you're using in the kitchen could go in here,
And you also help people. This is a great idea for people who don't want to handle their own composting, but you also help, you and your business partner also help people build their own backyard compost bins in case they are not too DIY handy, like me.
Exactly, we're building backyard composting systems for people, and that can be anything from anaerobic to aerobic composting.
What's that?
Well, there's anaerobic and aerobic, which is with air or without air, so there's enclosed bins that go a little bit faster and we don't introduce air into the system, or we do open bins, which is similar to what you had at your old house. I remember I did some gardening there, and you can compost all of your yard waste, you know, grass clippings, leaves, deadheading of your flowers. And it's so funny to me that people throw all of that away. You know, they truck it off site to a composting facility. Those grass clippings and leaves are just free fertilizer for your garden.
Absolutely, and it's always baffled me that people try to rake their leaves so early because there are lots of bugs and reptiles like frogs and toads that are still hibernating. So if you had a open compost bin like this outside instead, and you're one of those people, ideally you should not be raking, but if you were one of those people who like to rake, you could easily save a lot of lives by just putting, if you wanted to, if you were that eager and you wanted to put your leaves away, just put them in one of your compost bins. Am I correct?
Absolutely. I like to actually leave the leaves through the winter and then get them in the spring, because as you're saying, a lot of pollinators like the bees and butterflies, so they're caterpillars, they're all hibernating in that leaf litter.
Yep.
So if you sweep those away in the fall, you're sweeping away your entire yard's population of butterflies.
And they play a critical part with in our ecosystem.
Yeah. And another great service we offer is that for residents, if they sign up for our organic waste recycling, we also remove all of their yard waste for free. So in the spring and fall, we have a yard waste pickup day. And obviously we're offering education so that everybody is leaving their leaves until it's at least 50 degrees Fahrenheit so that those pollinators can hibernate and hatch. But you just put your yard waste in, you know, a Menards bag or just one of those brown paper bags, and you put it out by your bin, and we pick all that up for you.
This is phenomenal. I'm so excited.
Yeah.
Yes.
Just make everyone's life easier. And then also a really cool service we offer for our residential customers is every spring and fall you'll actually get a 5-gallon bucket full of nutritious compost for your garden. You put it on your vegetables, your indoor house plants, and
window boxes.
Window boxes, exactly. So you're getting that kind of full cycle of your waste. Kind of back into that nutritious soil.
I can smell that now.
I know.
Yes, it's nice.
I might cover it up. It's very. Oh, you like it?
It's fine. I'm used to it. Having grown up, back home in India. That smell is normal. I just thought it was a little bit baffling that people just weren't used to that smell, but it's a nice earthy smell. And it's not bad at all.
Can I show you the worms, Cheryline? Speaking of a nice earthy smell.
I love worms.
I was thinking I would gift you and your children some worms. Probably next week I'll have a harvest. We are farming our own Life Cycle worms here.
Is this for the worms?
This is for the worms.
Oh my gosh.
So you want a lot of nice bedding material for your worms. So I save any sort of, non-toxic natural paper. Yeah, you just shred that up for the worms. So you can see they're in here just wiggling away. Here's a nice wiggly one. You want it?
Yes.
You're just like my daughter. She loves worms. She loves having pet worms.
I shall call her Kayla.
Kayla Jr.
Kayla Jr. Yes, you.
Yeah.
Oh, can you see them? They're
this is one of our many worm farms.
Bradley, would you like one?
Yeah.
Yeah, and these are great for the ecosystem. There's a concern with earthworms that, they are invasive species, but red wrigglers like these cannot survive the Minnesota winter, so you never have to worry about them escaping or, messing with our ecosystem.
I did not know that. I assumed all earthworms just survived.
Some do, but the red wriggler is a really interesting species, and they're really ideal for composting, and they make perfect pets. You only have to feed them once a week.
Oh, that's fun.
They multiply like crazy. And we are the first and only supplier of red wriggler worms for vermiculture in the Twin Cities. So if you know anybody who wants some, I'll get a sample for you and your kids and help you set up a bin. It's super fun. They can do it in one of these 5-gallon buckets. I'm sure your kids are really into science.
Oh my gosh, our kids are always outside getting dirty. They are just so excited. I am so excited about this idea, and Kayla is always so innovative when it comes to coming up with eco-oriented businesses. All the more reason to please share this interview with everyone. Everyone needs to know about Kayla's business. What have you called it?
It's called Life Cycle Compost. I actually started it with my dear friend Emily's lab. I think she's been to one of the Mompreneur events. So Emily and I are in this together. We're both just diehard environmental activists wanting to bring this to our community.
Please share this video with on Facebook community pages. We'll put this up on Instagram Reels and on LinkedIn, of course. This needs to be a PE shared. Everyone should. I hope everyone just hires you and Emily and we
Thank
get
you.
out.
Thanks so much, Cheryline.
And I'm hoping the city of St. Paul works closely with you.
Yeah,
you know?
we've definitely been communicating with them. We're hoping in the next year we'd have our own land, so we'd be actually able to make this a little bit more larger scale, more affordable, and integrate it with the city's system.
Well, I'll try to see what the council at West St. Paul has to say.
Yeah,
Just
absolutely.
fingers crossed.
Actually,
hopefully.
our first customer ever who signed up the day we launched is in West St. Paul. So,
Really?
yep, that's
oh
our.
my gosh. Okay, then I'll be your second one.
You'll be our second one. Great. Awesome.
Thank you again for watching this. Please talk about Kayla. This is our very first in the series of Badass Bees. Because besides the obvious meaning, badass bees are also like bees, worker bees, and I can't think of a more hardworking person than Kayla. I love you.
I love you too. Thank you so much, Cheryline.
I wish you the very best. This is going to be super successful because all of us are.
We're very excited. Yeah.
It's a great thing for our kids to learn about saving up money.
Yeah, absolutely. And can I do one more quick plug for our Earth Day event, which is next week? So on the 22nd, and then which is Thursday, Earth Day, and then Saturday, the 25th, we're having a really cool event at the Eleanor Graham Community Garden. We're going to be doing vermicomposting demonstrations, and gardening demonstrations, and it's going to be really friendly for kids and families. We'll all be masked up and socially distant outdoors, so if you want to stop by for some composting fun, that's where we'll be.
Thank you.
Thank you. Bye.